All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to our meeting today. Alex is not with us, so I'll be running the meeting. How exciting. So the first thing that I want to do is turn it over to past president Mike Walker. Mike, take Brags away.
Hey, thanks, Zane. We start off with our brag bucks for the day, and John Roussel, do you have a brag for us this afternoon?
I have 8 to 10 volunteers for the cleanup on Saturday. It's not official until they sign on the dotted line, but and for the 24th, which is the following Saturday when we're going to do the COVID door hangers, I already have 6 people I believe are going to volunteer.
Good work, thanks.
I'm
Mr.
just getting
Tarkin.
started, Mike.
All right, thanks. Hey, Glenn, if you could, if you're not too comfortable in that chair and can share with us a brag you might have today.
Oh, it's a beautiful day. As you can tell, I'm outside. So now, yeah, looking forward to this weekend. And we actually have a cousin coming in and we just found out about that. That's going to be exciting and stay with us a day or so. We haven't seen in quite a while. So Michelle may brag about that also.
Sounds good, thanks. Mr. Lawton, Stevie with is that Stevie Lawton or just Steve Lawton?
You can call me either one if you would like. It's up to you, bud.
You ever brag this afternoon?
Yeah, so all the sheetrock has been installed in my house from flooding and now is getting painted and textured.
I know you'd be glad that's behind you.
Yeah, I'd like to move back in my bedroom.
Yeah. Thanks, Steve. Tara Bidwell, do you ever brag?
Nope, nothing here. All good.
We're glad you're here. Carole, do you ever brag this afternoon?
Well, I'm going to brag on Leadership Plano in a few minutes.
Oh, okay. We're glad you're with us.
Thank you.
Who else we got here? We got Joy. Do you ever brag?
I do. I want to brag on Catherine. We had a wonderful meeting this morning for the global grant. And so I'm really excited. And I think she did an excellent job and it's going to be awesome.
Thank you. Catherine, you want to ditto that or you have a brag of your own?
Well, I have probably a follow-on to that actually became apparent in our meeting, and that is I want to brag on how grateful I am to all of the new friends that I've made in this last couple years here by just putting my foot in and wanting to get involved in more in my community. And I cannot tell you how grateful I am every time I've stuck my hand out and asked somebody to help. They have gladly put forth what they had. So I am thankful to all the folks that are my friends and to our community that we have so many generous folks.
Thank you, Catherine. Antonio Harris, you ever brag this afternoon?
No, not really. I mean, just getting together the COVID awareness project has been pretty fun, and I'm glad to say that we're going to be doing it on Saturday. If you guys could sign up, that would be awesome. It's on the list of volunteer opportunities.
Well, good. All right,
Yeah.
thank you. Let's see, Clevie, how many cups of coffee have you already had today?
4.
4?
Yeah, I've already had 4, and they were pretty strong cups of coffee. But my brag for the day is I actually repaired my fence by myself, and I know that's probably not even that big of a deal, but you know how when you're a new homeowner, you got to choose your projects wisely. Well, windows was my project, and that I'm going to pay for, but walked into Home Depot, did exactly what I needed, and got it done. I was pretty happy. It's not really that big of a deal, but I'm proud of it.
Well, it is a big deal. Any trip down to Home Depot is a big deal.
Yeah.
You know, I've been known to spend a half a day down there and not buy anything.
Hard. I've been known to spend over budget, and I stay right on budget. So
Well, good.
Called the
If you ever
$100
need-
Club.
if you-
That's the minimum entry.
What'd you say, Steve?
I said it's called the $100 Club. That's the minimum entry.
Glenn knows me, and I know Glenn. We're paid far in advance on that.
So Home Depot, if I don't show up for a couple of days, they call me. It's like,
Yeah. To make sure you're okay and you're not sick.
Yeah, check you
That
out.
would be my dad too. Yeah, if he went for a few days without going to Home Depot, same thing. They would start calling him.
That's funny. Dania, do you ever brag?
No, I don't, but I'm a guest here today of Laura Johnson, who invited me to sit in.
Oh, we're glad to have you. Did I pronounce your first name correctly?
It's Dana, but you did a very good job with it, considering my
Okay.
mother confused the world by sticking a Y in there.
That's one thing about
Dana,
parents. They can
Dana,
create all sorts of first name spellings.
I'm sorry, I joined late. Dana, did you introduce yourself to everybody?
I did not. I
This
just
is
got
your
called
chance to
on.
do that. Go
Yeah.
ahead and do that. Don't be shy.
Yeah, so Laura invited me. I'm Dana Osherwitz, and Laura invited me because I'm running for place 2 on the Plano ISD school board. And so I'm lived in Plano ISD for 19 years. I think I read in print it's 18, but it's 19. I got it wrong. I'm a professor at SMU, and I'm an educator, and I've been in education for 30 years. So
Thank you. Thanks for sharing. And good luck on your run.
thank you.
Let's see, we've talked about Clevy's fence. Mr. Stafford, you ever brag today?
Well, yes, I do. So this past weekend, I trained a half dozen new block walkers who went out canvassing on behalf of great candidates like Dana Osherwitz and Julie Holmer for our PISD and city council races. And one of my block walkers came back from his turfs and he said, "Hey, why do I know David Hitt? Why is that name familiar to me?" And I said, "Well, that's Courtney's husband." So one of my block walkers was knocking on Courtney's door this weekend.
Ah, funny.
Thank you. Well, Courtney, since we've got your face up on the screen, do you ever brag for us today?
Yeah, I do. Actually, I was with Catherine yesterday evening and had the pleasure of hosting the meet and greet. So Dana was there, and that was lovely, and I got to see Julie. So yeah, that was really great. And so that's my brag.
No, at that meet and greet, was that up at the Arts Center? Is that where that was at?
Yeah. Everybody, if you actually, I'll go ahead and talk about that too. If you haven't had a chance to check out the Art Center, you need to go, because my favorite exhibit is on display right now. It's all of the AP PISD art students. They get every year, they get to put their art on display at the end of the year. And so this is their work, and it is incredible. You wouldn't be able to tell that it's not professional artists. So yeah, definitely go check that out.
That sounds like a good idea. Thank you. Michelle, do you ever brag this afternoon?
Gee, I'm going to brag on all you guys. I love everything that y'all are doing, and it's actually kind of fun when we have a little bit smaller club meeting so that we can kind of get to know each other a little bit better. So I'm excited to get to know you guys and hear a little bit about you. As for bragging, I guess I will also add that I might get to see my cousin and her husband this weekend. It's for sad reasons. He's going to MD Anderson to get some tests and work done. So that's the sad part, but they live in Georgia and they'll be in Texas. So I'm hoping to get to see them.
That's to be a special time. Thank you for sharing. LaShawn, do you ever brag?
I do not have a specific brag, but it is a beautiful day in my neighborhood. I am really happy to be here and to see you all. And I'm especially happy to see my friend Carole's face up there in the upper quadrant of my screen, and really looking forward to hearing her today.
Thank you. Let's see, Tara Bidwell, do you ever brag?
You already did me, but I didn't.
Oh,
have-
I see. I didn't have your picture. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Do you have a brag now?
No, still no.
Thank you. Let's see, we got done Steve, done Miss Lisa Leach. I see you popped in here. Do you ever brag this afternoon?
Yeah, I guess well, it's not really a brag, but I'm looking forward to seeing my mother next Monday. I'm flying in to go see her and haven't seen her not only since before COVID, but since before I went through chemo. So it's been a long time. So I cannot wait to see her.
Wow, sounds like a bunch of
That's my
catching
brag.
up to. That sounds like fun.
Yes, yes.
Thank you. Let's see here. I've got Laura, Miss Laura Johnson. Whoops, she's on the phone working. Mr. Kent Stone, do you ever brag? Kent Stone. I don't know, you're on mute.
Yeah, I think I got unmuted.
Thank
you. No polio this past week, everybody. And then a dramatic improvement in my mother-in-law's health is the other great brag I'd like to share. And thank you.
Thank you. I think I've got everybody. Laura, yeah, you were on the phone. I didn't want to bother you. So
I'm always on the phone, sorry. So my brag will be on Antonio and Bruce, our members who are taking on the COVID, basically working with the city to provide that COVID education, not education, more information, COVID information to specific neighbors or neighborhoods that the city has determined who we should focus on first. And they are kind of leading that project. I happen to be on it doing the registration, but impressed with all the work that they've done. Very organized, detailed emails and those kind of things. So I think they're doing a good job. And with that, I think we need, and Antonio, you could correct me if I'm wrong, I think we need like 15 or 16 more volunteers this weekend. So please check out our projects on our website, sign up, and hopefully we'll see you this weekend.
Thank you.
Yeah, I could post the link in chat. That way you guys can set it more easily.
All right, thank you. Bruce Mang, I think you're on mute there. Do you ever brag this afternoon?
Yeah, I mean, I would just say that I'm also very happy with how our project is going so well, and I really look forward to our first volunteer meeting this Saturday. So,
Okay, thank you. Mr. Fred Thomas, do you ever brag this afternoon?
I just thank God for a blessed Saturday, a blessed day.
Amen to that. Thank you, Fred. Okay, Zane, I think I've captured brags from those that wanted to brag, so I guess it's back to you.
Awesome. All right. Thank you, Mike. So next up, Glenn will do the prayer. So let me share my screen. All right. Glenn, please lead us in prayer.
Okay, if you'll bow with me. Lord, we thank you for this beautiful day. And this group of people, we're all about service, serving others, loving our neighbors. A great group. We have to meet kind of virtually, but we're able to get out into our neighborhood in so many ways and to serve our community. So we're so thankful for that. We ask for guidance, day-to-day guidance, but also, Lord, peace. Let there be peace on earth and let it begin with us, maybe. Let it begin with us. We ask all this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Thank you. All right. Next up, we are going to have Tara, one of our new members, do the Pledge of Allegiance. Let me switch slides. All right. Take it away, Tara.
All right. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Okay, so next up, we will be moving into the foundation moment. As you know, foundation is really important to the work that we do. And we have a message. I have a message, an extremely inspiring message to share. So let me pull that up.
I would like to thank Rotarians for your incredible efforts over the decades to eradicate this devastating disease, and to congratulate you, most importantly, on what you have achieved.
Rotarians have a very powerful global voice, and they've demonstrated that time and time again about polio.
Your work matters, and we and the world need you. Every idea and action that you have taken has led us to where we are and where we will be going.
We are proud of our amazing partnership with Rotary. As we near the finish line, the work is harder than ever, and Rotary's support is more important than ever.
We cannot succeed without you. We must stay the course. Together, we can make sure the children of the future only learn about polio in history books.
It's only because of this big global movement, which had Rotary at the very center, that today we're just at the cusp of eradicating polio.
Rotarians, we need you, we really do, to continue to do what you historically have done so well, but to actually tick it up a bit.
Rotarians, you are almost there. This is an exciting, close to success moment for all of us in the world.
If you look at what's made a difference in terms of the progress, often political commitment has been a factor. And Rotary has been key in terms of motivating community leadership, political leadership, to get this job done.
Awesome. So yeah, obviously the Rotary Foundation is really important to the work we do. And yeah, Rotary is recognized on the international stage for all of the efforts in eradicating polio, and now working to fight COVID, and yeah, all the wonderful work we do. So next, I want to turn it over to club business. So let me share my screen again. All right, so we just had the district assembly last Saturday, and the district assembly is kind of district-wide training. And so it's a bunch of really useful tools and resources in kind of training leadership for next year. So that just finished, and we had, I think, 12 club members that registered. So that was really good to see club members getting involved and interested in leadership. So thank you, club, for signing up and attending that. And then we also have the district in-person conference celebration on April 23rd and 24th. So this is something that I believe, I'm not sure, I think it costs $50, but the club will reimburse you if you attend. So that's an opportunity I wanted to share. And I think it's important that we continue to support the district and show up to important district events. So I think we briefly mentioned some service projects a little bit earlier, but Joanna is heading up the family hygiene kits as well as the homeless hygiene items projects. And those will be completed on April 16th. So there is a little bit more time to get involved. So if you're looking to get involved in those projects, they're super awesome, and contact Joanna for more details. And then we also mentioned the Plano Great American Cleanup. Glenn is heading that up. It's on April 17th. It's a continuation of a partnership with the city of Plano, where we'll be just making Plano, cleaning up litter in Plano. So that's super awesome. And then my friend Antonio and Bruce will be running the COVID awareness block walking on April 17th. So that's an awesome project. I know my Road Rack Club will be trying to participate as much as we can in that too. So that's exciting. And then the Armstrong Middle School meal drive-through is on April 20th. So all the spots in that are filled, but nonetheless wanted to discuss that awesome opportunity. And then Carolyn and Samiam are running the Cards for Nursing Homes project. We're always looking for more people. All it takes is writing a card. So if you're interested, please sign up for that. So yeah, we got through that super quick. Next thing I want to do is introduce our guest speaker, which LaShawn will be doing. Let me share my screen. All right, LaShawn, take it away.
Thanks, Zane. I am really happy to be introducing Carole Greisdorf today, who is going to be our speaker. You all see all of the things that Carole has contributed to our community, and I'm sure it even goes outside of our community. She is so passionate about her work with children and their needs, their security, their education, their safety. And you can see that in her work with the Texas and the National PTA. She was a founding member of the Plano Youth Leadership here. She's just done so many things. You can read all of those on the screen. But I think that when we talk about leadership and we talk about genuine leadership, that is definitely the embodiment of Carole Greisdorf. And I've been able to see that in her for so many years, not because she's my friend and I call her friend, but because that is the person that she is. You can see that she has worked with Leadership Plano as also a class member. She graduated with class 11 Leadership Plano. I'm sure many of us on the call probably have some experience with that. She was president of the executive board. She's a graduate of Leadership Texas. She's received awards. She was top 10 woman of Collin County in 2015. She has received awards also with the Athena Award in 2003. She is passionate in so many areas. She is such an altruistic person, as many people are on the call. Carole does this really well. And she is a person who just gives of her resources, her time, her knowledge so selflessly. She has a real passion for the arts. And I know this sort of firsthand. You can see her work with Discovery Center and Children's Advocacy Center and some of those other areas. With her work with the Art Center, she consults with the Art Center of Plano. And I have a picture that hangs on my wall in my dining room, actually, that is so special to me, reminds me of home, Texarkana. And I actually saw that because Carole had invited some of us to come in and see some of the art at the Art Center some time ago. She's married to Howard Greisdorf. They have 2 sons. They have 4 grandchildren. And if you know Carole at all, if you've heard anything about Carole at all, and you can see from her resume on the screen, Carole just brings an awful lot to the table. And again, she does it effortlessly and because she cares. And she's such a genuine leader in our community. And we're so happy to have her. So Carole, thank you for being with us today. And I'm going to not take up any more of your time that you can be talking to us. And I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you, LaShawn. That was over the top, and I so appreciate it and appreciate you so much as a friend. It is so good to be with you all today and to see so many friends on this call. And I may pick on you a little bit later to help me with my presentation by sharing a little bit about your experience in Leadership Plano. So be careful and listen carefully because you may be picked on. And how about those who have gone through Leadership Plano? If we could see you on screen, it would be helpful. But if not, would you raise your hand and just let us know if you've gone through Leadership Plano? Thank you. So there are people within your Rotary Club whom you can talk to and ask about the program. And I know they will give you a testimonial, a glowing testimonial. So to tell you a little bit today, what I'm going to do is tell you about the program, why it's important, the difference it makes, and then about applying for the program, the eligibility requirements, the selection process, and so forth. So, and then I'm happy to answer any questions that you have. Like the perennial bad penny, I'm back again for the third time leading Leadership Plano, and excited to do so because I am, as LaShawn said, so passionate about the program and the difference that I believe that it has made already in Plano and will continue to make. Leadership Plano is a program of the Plano Chamber of Commerce. We are getting ready to select our 38th class. So we've been in existence a good while, and we know how to do leadership and community awareness. We believe that our community requires knowledgeable and dedicated leaders. And this program has given nearly 1,000 community members the skills and community awareness to be strong leaders. I'm hoping, and my goal at the end of these remarks is that some of you who are graduates will talk about your experience, but also that those of you who have not gone through the program will consider applying or recommending your colleagues, your family members, people that are in your circle of influence to apply for the program. And I'll give you detail on how to do that. First, a little bit about Leadership Plano. It spans a 9-month period beginning in September with an overnight retreat. We go away out into the woods on September 11th and 12th and spend the night and get to know each other. And generally it's a class of about 36 people. I'll talk about that more in a minute. After the retreat, we meet monthly from October through May in day-long sessions that are usually the second Thursday of the month. They may vary because of holidays or things like that, or spring break and so forth. But we do post the calendar in advance. As I said earlier, we focus on community awareness and developing leadership skills. During the 9 months, class members will learn from the top community leaders. And when I say the top, I mean everybody from the mayor to the city manager to the superintendent of schools to CEOs of businesses and nonprofits, and also from the arts sector. Our sessions include city government, education, which includes Plano ISD, as well as our colleges and universities, the healthcare system, public safety, the nonprofit sector, business and economic development, working in the community. We learn also about the North Texas region and the arts and about volunteering. And we spend almost a day on the volunteer sector. And I am very proud to say that Rotary clubs in Plano have been the sponsors of our nonprofit day. And I hope we'll continue to do that. It's the last session of the year, and it's the class where our members of the class get a chance to learn about various nonprofits in the community and what their needs are and how they can get involved. And that's what we hope out of the program, is that our graduates will get involved by running for office, by serving on nonprofit boards, by volunteering where their passions take them. So that's what we look for. The important thing, and that's kind of the nuts and bolts of the program, is the network of friends and contacts that make the biggest impact. And it's what Catherine said a few minutes ago when she was giving her brag. It's about the people that will be your friends forever, whom you can pick up the phone and call and say, hey, I need another hand on volunteer day, or I need to get to talk to somebody, or I've lost my job. Do you have any ideas? Those are the kinds of people who will be there to help you, who have gone through your 9-month experience with you. One other thing about the program, and I'm so happy to see Courtney on this call and Catherine, because they were involved in a class project last year, 2 years ago, about to create the art walk and map art installations in our community. And what a great project. As LaShawn said, I do work with the Art Center of Plano as well. And what a impact that made. And each class is asked to take on a project that will have a lasting impact on the community. Things like the Love Packs program, which help feed school children. TEDx, many of you are familiar with TEDx in Plano. It was started by Leadership Plano, so how proud we are of that. The Plano ISD Adult Transition Program to help students who are aging out of Plano ISD find work in the community. So think about 37 years of projects that have had an impact on our community. So now I'd like to tell you a little bit about applying for the program, how to do that, and again, to encourage you to apply if you haven't gone through the program, or to recruit or recommend candidates if you have. Here are the things you need to know. 1, eligibility requirements. You must live or work in Plano or within the boundaries of Plano ISD, or be a member of the Plano Chamber of Commerce, or work for a business, civic organization, or charitable organization outside Plano that affects the Plano area. So those are the major criteria: live or work in Plano or in the boundaries of Plano ISD, be a member of the chamber, or work for a company that has an impact in Plano. Here's the application process. Our applications will go live at the leadershipplano.org website on Thursday. They are posted until June 15th, which is the absolute deadline, 6 o'clock, June 15th. We must receive the online applications. The application, I want to tell you, takes time. It is not one of those things that you can just off the top of your head put in an answer, because I'll tell you a little more about what the selection committee is looking for in just a minute. But what I would say to everybody and anybody that contacts me personally is be thoughtful in your answers, as acceptance into the program is based solely on that application form and your recommendations, and how completely and thoughtfully you answer the questions. And what we're looking for are people who have given thought to the issues, forgive my phone, to the issues facing Plano and how they would address those issues. What are the most important things that leaders need to think about for the city of Plano to remain a city of excellence? I feel like I'm running for office here, because that was one of the questions on the candidate forum this morning that the Chamber of Commerce posted. In addition to your application form, you are asked to obtain 2 letters of recommendation. One could be from a personal friend or contact, another from someone you work with. Those forms, those letters are also posted online. So you ask your recommenders to fill out the form and submit it online. There is a $35 application fee for administrative costs. And I guess this is a good time to tell you there is a fee to go through Leadership Plano. It is $1,350 for chamber members and $1,500 for non-chamber members. That fee can be paid by your company, your organization, or personally. And there is a payment plan available for those who would like to use it, but tuition or part of it must be paid by August 15th. So those are kind of the nuts and bolts things you need to know. So what is the committee looking for, the selection committee? Who are the people besides where they live and work that make up our class? I should tell you that our class is generally about 36 people, no more than 36. It may be less, depending on the quality of the applications we get. We generally get far more applications than we can possibly take into a class. This year, our plan is to meet in person. We did not have a class last year, and some programs throughout the Metroplex met virtually. Not a great way to do a program when you're trying to spend 8 hours learning about your community each day. Sitting on Zoom was not particularly appreciated. So we will take approximately 36 people. And I say approximately, and I say our hope, because as you all know, today we've got to be flexible. Who knows what the status of our healthcare is going to be by September? We're hoping that everybody who can possibly be and wants to be vaccinated will be. We will certainly try to hold our sessions in a safe manner and follow CDC guidelines. But if this isn't the year for you and you're not comfortable with meeting in person, then I'd suggest you defer till the following year. We're looking for people who have a history of involvement or a strong desire to serve their community. So you might be asked, where have you been involved in this community or previous communities? What leadership experience have you shown in your business or in your community? We're looking for people who have a commitment to ongoing personal development, people who have a willingness to accept a leadership role and assume greater responsibilities in the community. And I would say here, Leadership Plano is not a resume builder. We are truly looking for people who have a commitment to serve. And yes, it looks good to have it on your personal resume that you've gone through Leadership Plano. But, you know, we go back and look at our previous classes and people who are now sitting on city council or the school board or on college board, and how many of them have gone through Leadership Plano. And it makes a difference. It truly does make a difference. Finally, we're looking for people who will have a commitment to program attendance. You are allowed to miss up to 2 sessions during the year to graduate. But if you miss an hour more than that, then you will not graduate. And we're very strict about that. How do we select the class? Well, the class is selected by a committee consisting of Leadership Plano graduates, members of the Leadership Plano Advisory Board, and community members. Their charge and commitment is to create a diverse class representing all ages. And I want to tell you, in my experience with Leadership Plano, we have people who have gone through the program in their 20s and in their 70s, all the way, that the whole age decade in the class. And that's what makes it so fun and so exciting. We look for people from diverse backgrounds, all ages, races, genders, people from large businesses, small business, nonprofit organization, and community volunteers. You do not have to be attached to an organization or a business to apply for Leadership Plano. We do have sponsorships from the community that help the program thrive. And we're always looking for sponsors. So if you know anybody or work for anybody who'd like to see this program continue, we certainly seek your support. Candidates, as I said, must be willing to attend all sessions. We will notify candidates of their acceptance or non-acceptance by July 15th. And then tuition is due in part or in full by August 15th. So that's basically my story. I would say for me, Leadership Plano, which I'm almost reluctant to admit, I went through class 11 and we're now on class 38. So it has been a while. I came to Plano to work for Plano ISD as head of communications. And the first thing people said to me was, you should go through Leadership Plano. That's how you'll get to know the community. And I have to say, that was so true. It was through that initial group of people that I established a network. And then through the classes, got to know the people who run this city and was able to use that network of contacts in my career and after I left Plano ISD. So I hope that this little brief talk will inspire you to think about Leadership Plano. I put in the chat that if you go to www.leadershipplano.org, as of Thursday, you will find the application forms online and the recommendation form online, as well as a calendar of the classes and a brochure that talks about the program. And so I'd love to have a volunteer who's gone through Leadership Plano. And I was a former teacher, so I'll point to you if you, I'll volunteer you if you don't. But is there someone who'd like to talk about their experience in the program?
I'm happy to talk about my experience.
Go ahead, John.
So I was in Leadership Plano class 37, which was the most recent class. And I think that 5 of my classmates are also members here of the Plano West Rotary. So we all kind of joined together this past winter time. And together we are working to make Plano a better place for everyone to live at. For me, the first day was the most telling and enlightening part of the program, where we were doing our personality assessments and figuring out where everybody's strengths and weaknesses were. And it dawned on me, as somebody who works with another very dysfunctional volunteer organization, just how to mesh those various personalities. And that is giving me a great insight on how to work with the other people in that volunteer organization and get them motivated. And I really appreciated having that first day's class because it taught me things that I had never known before.
Thank you. Someone else, don't be shy. Come on, Catherine, I know I can count on you.
Of course, you can always count on me to talk. I was waiting for Courtney to jump right, or Tara to jump right up there. But anyway, I will reiterate to anybody who is interested in our community how amazing it is to plug into a network of people who are likewise committed to community service. I mean, and again, coming from different ages, backgrounds, industries, points of view, and again, the greatest thing about, I think, the program is through the 9 weeks, you really do get to know these people, and they really do become your friends that you can pick up the phone and count on. And as witnessed by, we still, we're, class 37, best class ever virtually, because Carole was talking about that. We missed a little bit of our tail end of our class because of COVID, but here we are, all still together, all still trying to work together. And I think that's testament to how awesome the program is in terms of building relationships. That is the one thing that I value the most from participating in it.
Thank you. Courtney, would you?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's hard to not talk about this without getting emotional because I actually led my class project and it was through the pandemic. So I got to really, work with everybody and get to know everybody so intimately and closely. And, it's so cheesy, but I say it all the time that, leadership Plano changed my life. I mean, it absolutely did. And it's funny. I mean, Catherine and I were late last night, and we were the last ones there closing up the art center together. And that just shows, right? She's there for me no matter what. And you can rely on your Leadership Plano classmates in a way that, you can't necessarily rely on everybody. And I got to see them in ways that not necessarily everybody gets to see them because I got to lead them in a class project. And each and every one of them, and I'm sure this is a testament to the selection process, is incredible in their own way, brilliant and talented and special. And they all bring something so unique to the program and the class. And it's just kind of amazing how it all works and how it all works together. I thought I was so super involved and then I already knew so much. But no, I mean, I had just scratched the surface, quite frankly. And it's really amazing how, many relationships that I've formed out of, Leadership Plano, even in a time when, we were, forced so closely together and then, kind of ripped apart. It's been great that I still have these core group of people that I can lean on at any point in time, and that we have this special bond and this thing that we went through together. And I can't say enough amazing and wonderful, great things about the program and just what I learned. Just so as a whole, all around, it was just amazing. And if you ever have any questions about anything, please, I'm just so happy to answer anything. I can't say enough great things.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Other comments? How about questions from those of you who haven't or might be interested in going through the program? May I answer any questions for you?
I have a question.
Yes.
So for the recommendations, is there a preference? Should it be a former graduate of Leadership Plano or
somebody who knows you and is not just doing a perfunctory letter for you, but somebody that knows why you would be an asset to the program and to the community. So someone who's worked with you, a personal friend, sure, someone who's gone through the program, but again, they're going to be looking for what are the assets that you bring.
Okay, all right.
Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you, Carol.
Uh-huh. Well, if there are no questions, I just want to say how appreciative I am of the Plano West Rotary. I am a former Rotarian. I retired from Rotary a couple of years ago, but I continue to be impressed by the work you do, and particularly this club. Alex told me a lot about this club, and I'm impressed with your diversity, with your commitment, and with your ongoing involvement and support of the community. I hope I will see your applications come in to Leadership Plano, and feel free to call me. My contact information, email, and phone number are available on the website, so feel free to call me personally. Thanks for having me. I appreciate you.
Quick question: when is the applications going to be available on the website?
April 15th. Oh, and I should say one more thing. I'm sorry. Tomorrow night, you all have gotten a preview, but tomorrow night, April 14th at 5:30 p.m., we're hosting an info session online on Zoom. You've heard pretty much everything I'm going to talk about tomorrow night, but feel free to register at the Plano Chamber website, planochamber.org, and click on events and scroll down to April 14th, and you can register for it. So we'll do our info session tomorrow night, and then the applications will go live first thing Thursday morning, April 15th. And we'll have another info session if you can't make it tomorrow night on May 19th at noon. So trying to get people at where they are and times that work for them. That's it.
Awesome. So if there are no other questions, I'd like to share my screen. Carol, in appreciation for your time and program, Plano West Rotary will donate $10 to Rotary's Polio Plus Fund in your name. And together with the 2-to-1 matching funds from the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, your $10 will turn into $30 and will provide a polio vaccine for approximately 50 children. As I hinted on earlier, Rotary's polio infrastructure is being used to fight COVID as well. So your donation will, or this donation will also support those efforts too. So thank you so much for your time. Seems like Leadership Plano is something that's highly valued by all of our club members. And so we really appreciate you taking some time to discuss the program.
Thank you so much for the donation. That means a great deal.
Absolutely. So next week, we'll be covering, on a related note, Rotary Foundation giving. And so we'll be learning more about like what the foundation does and how you can get involved. So hope to see you all next week. And before we leave, I will turn it over to Clevie, and she will be doing the 4-way test.
Hello, Rotary Plano West, the 4-way test of the things we think, say, or do. Number 1, is it true? Number 2, is it fair to all concerned? Number 3, will it build goodwill and better friendship? Number 4, will it be beneficial to all concerned?
Rotary.
Rotary. Rotary.
All right. Thank you everyone so much for being here today, and we'll look forward to seeing you next week. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks, Carol.